I'm Fred Minnick. In this hot take, I'm so pissed off that this is my third time shooting it, where hopefully I don't lose my cool. Giddy up. Right now, the world is opening back up. Restaurants around the world are opening their doors, for some of them, the first time. In Louisville, you have restaurants that have been at, not at full capacity, and they've only survived through takeout and through to-go cocktails. And their business models, their dreams have completely changed. And some of them made a hefty portion of their revenue off of bourbon sales. A lot of them keeping those prices down really low so that you could always make sure that you got a nice pour of Elmer T. Lee or Four Roses limited edition small batch, and you wouldn't have to pay a fortune. Louisville was one of the great epicenters where you could come here and actually experience bourbon without having to, basically fork over your entire savings. This is a town that has built its tourism around bourbon. And that tourism has been built around bourbon because so many places like Bourbon's Bistro and Silver Dollar are very well priced for value pours. And they've got hidden gems in there that you can find. Well, guess what? A lot of them have done barrel picks. And a lot of them had allocated products on their shelves. In the past 6 months, those restaurants like Bourbon's Bistro have been basically told that they have not made enough sales to warrant certain allocations, and in some cases, barrel picks. So the bourbons who were basically made popular by these restaurants are now turning their back on them when those restaurants probably need them most. I don't really want to name drop who those brands are because, frankly, you don't have to look very far. It's a lot of them. It's not just one distillery. It's a lot of them. They're all trying to justify where to send their allocated products and who to reward with barrel picks. And they've looked at the sales from the past year from retailers. They've looked at the growth of bourbon barrel groups, and they're rewarding those people and not those who need it most right now. Well, I'm looking at every single distiller who has made that decision, and ask yourself, is that something that Al Young would have approved? Is that something Elmer T. Lee would have approved? Is that something Lincoln Henderson would have approved? Is that something that Parker Beam, Booker No, any of the iconic, legendary bourbon people of our time, is that something they would have approved? Or would they have thrown your report back in your MBA face and said, no, we're not doing that. No. We're taking care of those who have been supporting us from the very beginning. And yes, I understand it's a difficult decision to make on who is going to get what barrel and who is going to get what allocated product. I understand it's a business. It's not a bourbon charity, as often is said by people in the bourbon industry. But at the end of the day, we are talking about people who put their business models on the line to help bring bourbon back. And if you can't respect that, if you cannot make way to make sure that they have what they need at all times, then you are simply not understanding what bourbon is all about. At the end of the day, this bourbon boom is going to bust. And you know who's still going to be there? It's probably going to be those people who brought you back to the dance. It's not going to be Matthew McConaughey. It's not going to be Scottie Pippen or any of these other celebrities that are walking up right now getting into bourbon. It's going to be the people who were there for you when bourbon was not cool. And remember that. Remember that the next time that your group has to make a decision based on sales and allocations. Sometimes it's about the people and it's not about the friggin' numbers. And that's all I got. I think I did all right. Didn't lose my cool too much on that one. But if you'd like to see more hot takes, make sure you click that subscribe button. I have a playlist of past hot takes, and I can tell you that this is the only one I've had to do several times after I've lost my cool. Cheers, everybody. Be safe out there. And remember, vodka sucks. Cheers.